If you've built agents inside of Agent Studio using HighLevel, I'm going to show you how you can use those agents inside of code programmatically using the HighLevel API for AI Agent Studio. Now, if you haven't used the API, it's pretty straightforward. All you have to do is go to the GoHighLevel app marketplace documentation at marketplace.gohighlevel.com/docs. Then when you click Get Started with the API, you can navigate down on the left-hand side to AI Agent Studio and then Agents, and you'll be able to see all of the different things we can do with our agents through the API. Now, if you've never used an API before, I'd highly recommend looking at some of HighLevel's Getting Started documentation, which teaches you how to use HighLevel's API. Basically, we can send requests back and forth to different URLs in order to perform actions inside of code, which means we can use these inside of workflows using webhooks, on other platforms, inside of code, our websites, all sorts of places. So the way this works is we have all these different actions that we can perform with our agents from Agent Studio. So for example, create agent. We can use this endpoint in order to literally create an agent inside of our HighLevel account. So instead of going here inside of our account and going to AI Agents, then Agent Studio and clicking create agent and doing this process manually, we can do this with code. So we can do this through this sort of endpoint. Now we have a bunch of different request parameters that we can include, so like the name of the agent, the description, the agency ID, the different versions, and what we want the agent to actually do. But most of this is just going to be for actually creating the agent. Now, for the next endpoint we have update agent. And this one is really useful for actually adding real functionality to the agent. So if you can see, we can add all these different parameters like the different nodes we want to use. So start nodes, etc. We can include our edge cases, our global variables, input variables. We can configure all of this with code inside of this system. Now, obviously, this is going to take some playing around with to make sure that you're actually including the right information in each one of these fields in order to make it work. And you can absolutely test any of these with the testing environment on the right-hand side. So if you input your authentication token, which this can be the sub account token. If you've never gotten a sub account token before, all you have to do is log into your sub account, go over into settings, then scroll down to private integrations. And then here you can click create new integration. You can create your token by adding in a name, and then you'll add the scopes for Agent Studio. So as you can see here, we have view agents in Agent Studio and add or edit agents in Agent Studio. So we can create this private integration token by clicking these scopes, click create, and then we'll get a token in order to include on this right-hand side whenever we're testing in this bearer token section. Again, if you're not familiar with APIs, the token is basically just what allows us to get access to the sub account and perform all these actions securely. And once we configure the last headers and then the entire body, including things like the version name, what we want to actually build, so like the different nodes, the different actions that they have, the types, etc., we can test this around by clicking send API request. Now you can do this with all the different actual endpoints. So we have list agents. That's another one that's really helpful if you want to see all the agents inside of a sub account. We can get specific agents by their ID. So if we have a database of all of our agents' IDs, we can get specific ones in order to make them perform actions inside of our actual, whatever platform where we're running this endpoint from. And then of course we can do the really fun stuff like executing agents. So we can execute agents using the execute agent action, and this allows us to actually start the workflow that the agent is doing. And this allows us to actually execute the agent's workflow. So if we have an agent that, let's say, creates a piece of text for ad copy, right? We can use this endpoint inside of an app, inside of a website, inside of whatever other platform, or even in a workflow in order to programmatically execute that agent. Now, if you've never used an API before, I'm sure it can be difficult to understand a really good use case for this, but if you have used the API, you can understand this can be really, really cool. So for an example, inside of our sub account, we have this customer support agent that we have created. It's a basic agent that whenever someone chats with it, it generates a piece of text. That's it. Now, we can configure all of our prompting and stuff over here inside the support agent, but let's say we want to actually use this text inside of an app that we built that connects to HighLevel instead of just doing it inside of this chat box. Well, we can use this execute agent action in order to actually execute the agent. We can include things like the source, the message that we're sending to the agent, and then we can get the response back from the API in order to use that response inside of our app, load it in whatever we have. It means we can build custom chatbots and stuff inside of platforms and workflows and landing pages and all sorts of really cool things. So this can be really helpful if you have a very, very specific use case where you want to use your agents from Agent Studio across multiple platforms or inside of workflows, any other places like that. Now, there's a couple other actions you can do. There's update agent metadata. There's delete agent, promoting agents to production. You do have to have an agent in production in order to use it with the API. That's very important. So make sure you've actually promoted/published the agent before you can actually use it. But overall, all of these will help you actually use the agents inside of workflows, apps, etc. And it's going to be really cool if you guys can find some really cool use cases for using this. So again, I already mentioned a couple use cases, but feel free to drop them in the comments. Or if you have any questions about how to use this and why this is useful, then feel free to drop that in the comments as well, or refer to the help doc. As always, my name is Andrew, and thank you very much for watching.